My score prediction would be 3-1 to Roar. Up the Roar.
I think it's going to be 2-0.
2-0 the Roar?
Yeah, 2-0 the Roar.
2-1 Brisbane.
2-1?
Brisbane Roar Macarthur. I'm thinking 3-1 win for the boys in orange. Fingers crossed. Let's see how we go.
I'll just think 2-1 win, just to be a bit humble.
So what do you think it's going to be?
I think we're going to win 3-1.
3-1? I've had a few 3-1s.
Yeah.
And yourself?
2-2.
2-2. That's what I said. Right.
Oh, what do you reckon?
Oh, 4-0. Come on,
4-0.
come on, Raw. Come
Yeah.
on. It's a big game.
Yeah, I reckon 3-1 to the Raw.
Yeah, I reckon 3-2. Raw for the win.
1-0 Roar for me.
1-0 Raw.
Yeah.
We could go top of the league here because I think it's we're still 0-all. 0-all in the early game, so we can be top of the league here.
And do you?
3-1.
3-1. Oh,
21
yeah,
going to the back of the net tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, Sam, that is round one done and dusted of the A-League for 25-26, season 25-26. I guess we should start off by saying how awesome was that little intro with all of the interviews that you did pre-game with people's predictions.
I grew some balls and went and did it. I did have a little director pointing out all the people for me to to interview. But he was a very demanding director as well. So
shout out to Parker. It was pretty funny. Sam interviewed, or when I say interviewed, he asked people for their predictions before the game. Thanks for everyone for being a good sport who jumped on and had a go.
Yeah.
And shout out to Sam for doing it too. I'm quite introverted and I really struggle to do things like that. Sam,
he's like, I'll just go wait with Dad. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah. In the future, I'll try and be involved a little bit more in the live. What do you call them? Vox pops, I think it's called when you're interviewing people.
Yeah,
on the street.
that's the word. Yeah, I was actually looking for that word the other day. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll try and get involved a little bit more. Most people who know me probably are quite surprised to find out that I am heavily introverted when it comes to things like that, and that's because most people have met me when I've been drinking. And
so the inhibitions are gone.
My inhibitions are gone when I'm drinking, and I haven't been drinking for a long time. So yeah, I'm trying to get back into talking to people who I don't know. So Sam, thank you very much for doing that, mate. Thanks everyone for jumping on and doing the little predictions for us. We did get one person with the prediction right.
Well, technically two, but one in one interview they both agreed with each other. So
yeah. Well, look, mate, give me your immediate thoughts on the game. I should mention it is now Monday evening.
Yes. I do apologize,
before you crack on with that, Sam, I should just say as well, we really wanted to try and get this up on Sunday.
And it will in the future. It definitely will be.
It just depends on when we play.
Yeah, true. No, but even if it's the Sunday Arvo, we can just do it immediately after.
Yeah.
But a little bit happened this week in my household, so it just taking its toll still. So
just thoughts with Sam's wife and the whole family. So there was a little bit that went on that sort of we didn't even think we would maybe go into the game on Friday. So, but we did go to the game. And Sam, give me your immediate thoughts. And I've watched the game again, and I've got some notes that we can run through. But I just wanted to hear you now that the dust has settled and it's been a couple of days. What are your recollections from Friday night and your thoughts?
Yeah, it was just I don't know. It's not how I expected them to play. I expected a lot more aggressive football than what we did. We were very aggressive, but not aggressive football. It was aggressive men. But mind you, that could be exactly what he wants. He could be just wanting them to get out there, disrupt them as much as possible, get under their skin, and then we can play our game. But yeah, I expected it to be a bit more fast, sort of paced and end to end and a bit more open. But no, we sort of had our opportunities, and it felt like in the first half we were sort of really on top of them. And then that sort of changed in the second half where they started sort of having their little bit more opportunities than what we did. And then it sort of started feeling like we're going to regret all these opportunities that we missed. And then the red card happened, and it was just like, I don't know if we're going to be able to survive this now. And they really ramped up then, which is what you're supposed to do. But no, they were a bit disappointing, which was probably great for us, because we weren't amazing. But I mean, it's first game of the season after what, five months off.
4 months.
Yeah, 4 months is So it's a massive off season for them. So it'll take weeks for each team to. And if a team does come in rolling this season like Auckland did last year, it's a miracle because with that long an off season, it's very hard for teams to come in firing straight away. So I was expecting a lot more goals as well. And just we had our opportunities. They had a lot more opportunities than what I thought they did. I don't know if the stats man was watching a different game to what I was, or if there was just too much distraction with my small little 6-year-old beside me throughout the whole game. So yeah, for me, it was awesome to win, but I really hope that it's not how we play for the rest of the season, because you can't play like that for the rest of the season.
Yeah,
that's finals. Yeah, we could probably play like that in finals, and that's probably what this was. It was a bit of an amp up like a finals game. But I think, we need to settle it down and try and play some actual football to beat some of these teams.
I agree, mate. I agree with pretty much everything that you said. I think, like I was probably expecting it to be a little bit more fast-paced and free-flowing as well. But I think like a lot of the people, the pundits and stuff over the last couple of days have been talking about the Roar's physicality and you know how we were out there to try and bully them. But I'm thinking to myself, like Macarthur were probably worse.
Yeah, they were, and I feel like we retaliated to that. Like we came out of the gates firing, trying to break their line, put the ball over the top, get around the sides. That's what we were trying to do. And then they kept fouling us every time that we got in behind them.
Yeah.
And so it was like, fuck this, if this is how it's going to be refereed. And then the minute that we do it, we get a yellow card.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Adam Kersey, I think he had a big impact on the game. There was a lot there that he could have, I think, let go and let the game flow a little bit more, but it was very stop-start. It was hard for either team to really get into a rhythm. And yeah, I think, obviously we're biased, but it did feel like live there in the stadium that in that first 15 minutes that there was Henry Hoare especially was getting hacked. And there was that studs up, that sort of, long. We'll get into some stats and stuff in regards to that in a sec, but yeah, it did feel like there was at least one definite.
There was four. I think 4 penalties that I was counting that was Bratton's.
Yeah,
nothing happened of those.
We'll get into all of those numbers in a sec, but just in that first 15, 20 minutes, there was one definite, if not 2 yellow cards that Macarthur should have got.
Yeah.
They didn't, and then Roar obviously were like, well, that's how it's going to be refereed. And then at the minute that we go in hard in the challenge, we get a yellow card. So, I will admit, Dimitri Valkanis, I watched the replay and it was warranted, the red card. Yeah. The first challenge was, super cynical and horrible. When he just sort of like skived him down. And then, the second yellow, obviously it's
at live there at the stadium. Sat in between both of them for both of them to get to. It's just he didn't
But
get to it.
he definitely makes contact with him. He goes in, makes contact with it's like it's not like it was like further up his leg. He clipped him. So yeah, it was definitely deserved. And yeah, we'll get into all that in a sec. Let me just open up my phone, mate, because I took some notes.
Do you think though, if the ref, because the ref clearly didn't know that it was his second yellow, do you think if the ref knew he was already on a yellow, do you reckon he would have given that as a yellow as well?
No, I think he did know. He was watching the replay. It was pretty quick to get the red out.
Was he? Yeah, I
yeah.
felt like he got the yellow out and then went to put it in the book, and like it felt like it took quite a while.
Watching it back, no, he pretty much had the red out straight away. Yeah. So let's talk about. I guess I'll talk about some of the notes that I've got, and then we can talk about a bunch of the new players, mate. So yeah, obviously it was from out the gates, from the start, 2 consecutive corners to start the game, from the kickoff. And I'm just going to skim through my notes, and if you want to, mention anything or discuss anything, mate, just jump in. I mentioned that I thought that Chris Long looks to be a really good focal point for us. He used to look his body to hold the ball up really well. And I'll just jump in. I'm pretty sure he was like our second highest fouled player. Fouls drawn. Chris Long was he drew 4 fouls. He was the number one. He received the number one amount of fouls in the game. So I just thought that he obviously, he's not like a big imposing unit of a number 9, but I just thought watching him live, he's really smart. And yeah,
he
I
certainly
really
surprised me. That's for sure. He was. I don't know. In his replays and stuff, he's not a very fast player. So I was sort of expecting him to play like a little bit more back to goal, control it, put the ball to like your Kleins and your O'Shea's in behind him. But no, he's proper little, like as I said, little ball poacher. Like I was really impressed. Yeah.
No, he's good with the ball at his feet, and he looks to. You see, like as soon as the ball's in the air or coming along the ground, he gets his body like up against the defender, and he looks.
And it was a bigger defender too, so
a massive defender. Yeah. Tommy Uscock. I mean, all of the Macarthur backline are pretty big, and even most of their team actually is quite large. But yeah, Tommy Uscock I think is probably 6'4". 6'5", something like that. He's got a
used cock too.
Tommy huge cock. Yeah, so I just thought that Chris Long I thought was really impressive. Obviously, didn't light the game up in terms of shots on goal and that kind of thing, but I can see him working really well with laying the ball off to the likes of Hoare, back to O'Shea, and the other players as well. 9th minute, McGarry fought really well to get the ball back. And then Dimitri Valkanis just lets the player run past him in the box and get the ball. And that was one thing I remember seeing.
Is that what? Okay, yeah, I remember just being like looking at it, going, "Who's taking that player?" So it was Valkanis. All right,
it was Valkanis. Yeah. So just on that, it was quite a surprise selection, mate. Obviously,
I was confused. I thought that I read that it was an injury that put him in there, but no, it's not what was written.
No, so Wallen's coming back from an ACL. And Harrington has just come back from that tournament overseas for the under-23s.
Okay.
So I think that is the reason for Valkanis starting in the back line, which, obviously Fakranis hasn't played any A-League football, but neither is Valkanis. But Valkanis is an under-23 Socceroo as well.
Exactly.
So maybe Harrington was playing in the under 19s or whatever it was.
The under 21s or something,
because Valkanis has played in the under 23s, and he's the captain actually of the under 23s.
Yeah.
So he's got the the pedigree for it. Obviously, if he's anything like his dad, he'll be a great defender, but probably a bit disappointing for the young fella in his first game. So in that, oh, there we go. So that was in the 9th minute when that happened, when McGarry fought really hard to get the ball back. And then in that same minute, Politis should have been given the yellow for that tackle on ball.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Is that the one where he got through?
Yeah, he was on his way past him, and he basically did like it was almost looked like a studs up challenge on him.
Yeah, it did. That's what it looked like from our end, anyway.
Yeah, and it was from that point on, like within that should have been a yellow card, like 100%, even though it was only 10 minutes in, because it wasn't long after that Valkanis got the first yellow of the match. That was in the 9th minute, and then it was the 16th minute that Valkanis got that yellow on Chris Economides. But in that same 9th minute, that's when Klein did that little "Hello Chicks" nutmeg.
Yep.
On the byline of the 18-yard box. Oh man, that was magic. Even though it was at the other end of the stadium from us live, like you heard the whole stadium react to it, like ooh. It was hello
gorgeous.
Chicks. Hello Chicks, as Boswell would say. I noticed that so previous to the game, I watched the fan forum on YouTube, all 2 hours of it. And Dean Bouzanis in that did mention that he thought his best attribute as a goalkeeper was his distribution. And judging from that the other night, I have to agree. Like his long balls were fantastic. He was almost always found a player, and his goal kicks were really good as well. So I just thought his long balls and distribution from the back was really good. One of the things that was really good that we only briefly saw on the big screen at the game was Stajic confronting Bratton at halftime.
Oh yeah, I totally missed it. I'm so bummed. Can you see it on the replay?
Yeah, you see, it goes for a couple seconds longer, but yeah, and Partaloo and the commentator who I can't remember, it's not Ben Homer, it's one of the other commentators. They were saying Stajic, so maybe it's
yeah. Well, there is a fair few players that they've sort of corrected how they're saying them. So like the players have actually come out and said how they're said or how their family says it. So yeah, hopefully I love that. I love that they're actually listening to them and doing it as opposed to just going with whatever we've said before. But it certainly throws you, doesn't it?
And now, well, I mean, we in Australia sort of first experienced that with all of the players in the NRL, the Pacific Islander players, and the commentators probably comically at the start trying to pronounce all of their names properly. But I think that's a good thing. So we'll have to find out if it's Stajic, whatever it is. But yeah, him confronting Bratton at halftime, I thought was fantastic. Like it was shades of another fantastic crazy Balkan that we had years ago, shades of Bessart Borussia and Pascal Boschart.
Beautiful. It's still the greatest thing that ever happened.
Yeah.
In front of.
But I mean, I thought that showed from Stajic, it showed he obviously identified the fact that Bratton had fouled us about three or four times in that first half. And was trying to get under our skin a little bit, and I feel like that was Stajic being like, "Hey, this is our ground."
Yeah, no, you don't get to do that here.
You're not here anymore, bitch. Like this is our
ours,
town. So yeah, I thought that was really good, and on him as well. I mean, I thought he had a fantastic game. We've needed that kind of starch in midfield for a long time.
Oh God, yeah.
I think he's going to give O'Shea that little bit more freedom to get forward, as we saw. Like O'Shea's touches the other night, he had a fantastic game, by the way, AJ O'Shea.
Oh, beautiful, yeah.
But his involvements were a lot more meaningful because I think he knew that he had, like a brick wall, a brick shithouse to clean up behind him. Quickly through these other notes that I got from the game, mate. We were forcing the balls to shoot from distance. Even though
you were saying in the stadium, they can keep doing that all night. Thank you very much.
That's it. Yeah, we'll have them shooting from there all night as long as they just don't go in. Then we had young Jordan.
I'm not in goals, so they don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
We'll put my my low light at the at the end of this
The
episode.
low
I'll send
light.
it to you.
Sam going,
Ah,
making the ball flying
world's
into the bottom
slowest
corner.
dive.
Jordan Lawton filling in at left back. I thought he was fantastic.
Yes, actually. And do you think that he would be like keeping that position?
No.
You reckon?
He's a midfielder, and
No, I know he is, but we're very good at putting midfielders in the back left there. So
no, from what Valcana said in the post match, I can't remember if it was the press conference or in the interview on the field. It might have been in the press conference. He mentioned that he, because of the red card and the tactics, and McGarry had picked up a little bit of a knock.
Yeah.
That he had to put Jordan Lawton in, and he said, I told him that he was playing at left back, and he looked at me with a big smile on his face and was like, put me in. And you see,
yes, love it.
You see in the like when you watch the replay when Lawton's coming to the sideline to go in the game, he's like got a big, not like a big smile, but you can see he's just had a smile on his face and he's amped up.
Yeah, cool.
So I don't think he's not like a long-term solution to fill in at left back.
Okay.
But I thought he was fantastic. He got his foot in at the last minute on a bunch of challenges. Obviously, his attacking intent came out a couple of times there, even though we were trying to hold on and not push up too much. He still couldn't help himself a couple of times. What else have we got here? So I've got Busanis and McGarry, possible injury concerns. So we'll have to find out. I think tomorrow is when
Busanis did go down a couple of times. So
and he was holding. It looked like he was pointing to his quad.
Good.
Well,
that's not
really
too bad.
good.
No, that's an injury that is usually pretty quick to recover from. So
it just depends. We'll find out tomorrow.
Don't want shoulders or knees.
Tomorrow is when they normally drop the Q scan update on the players from the weekend. So McGarry had that looked like he had like a bit of a head knock. Then he did go down and he was holding his knee. And in the press conference, Valcana said that he has picked up a bit of a knock on his knee. So we'll have to find out. Obviously, those two, and if there were any other injuries that came out of the game as well. I've made a note here for a special mention for Noah Myroney, who came on.
Yes.
In that last, I think he played like the last 10 minutes or so.
Yep.
We were talking about him in the previous episode, mate. He was actually the Brisbane under-23s captain.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and he'd gone from Brisbane to City, and then from City came back to the Roar as the under-23 captain, and then got announced on his scholarship contract a couple of days before the game. And I thought he was great. I think for his age, he's got like a pretty big body, and I think he's got like potential to be a really good midfielder. So I thought he was fantastic. He was working hard in defence, and he looks like he's really well composed and mature, like very, very much in the same vein as Harrington. Like,
okay, cool, sweet.
Like
he
that.
didn't sort of, kind of wasn't really focusing on him too much. So it's good. That's good to know.
We were just shitting
I'll have to watch it again then.
We were just straight shitting ourselves for that last.
That's it.
10 or 15
and
minutes.
I've already had too much of that watching Brisbane Broncos for the last 3 weeks of the season. So
but the outcome was good for the Bronx, and the outcome for the Roar the other night was really good too.
Yeah.
There's, like you said, mate, it wasn't like a open free flowing match. We didn't see like beautiful, like tiki-taka football or anything like that. So I think it's going to take a little while for us to see like what Valcanis's style actually is.
Yep.
From memory, I think the formation was like a 4-4-2-2. So 4-2-2-2.
Yep.
So we had, obviously you had Salas, who was really good. He was rocks and diamonds a little bit, Salas,
Yeah,
I
rocks
thought.
and diamonds. Yeah.
When he was good, he was brilliant. He did a couple of things that were a little bit dodgy, got players getting past him and whatever. But so Salas, then we had Bility and Valkanis and McGarry at the back. Then you had Stajic and O'Shea. Then we had Farakis, who was staying him for a second. I thought he was pretty ineffectual in that game. He didn't really. There was one good thing that he did in the first half, where he fought hard to get the ball back and then turn it over straight away again.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure if left midfield is his position.
Yeah, well, as soon as he was as soon as everyone was pushing the ball that way, the game slowed down a lot too. So we were having a lot more luck on that right hand side. So whether it was just the fact that they were defending differently on the right as well. I don't know. I wasn't watching that closely, so.
Yeah, I just noticed even watching the replay, like you can barely remember him getting a touch on the ball, and then calling him. He did
honestly, I think you mentioning that he hasn't done much while we're at the game, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even notice that he was out there.
So we'll have to see. I don't think he's a left-sided player. I'm not. He could be. I'm just not sure. Maybe he was. Everyone has those games where they just disappear.
Yeah. And it's the start of the season too, so.
Sam Klein was fucking amazing again.
He always is. He's Mr. Consistent for us, so. I do enjoy watching him play. He's definitely one of those players that will grab a game by the ghoulies and hold on to it.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people need to look up to what he's doing, and even off the field, the way that he interacts with fans and that like he's the one that does the chant and everything with everyone. Like he's really showing that he's caring about the club and that he wants to be a leadership person within the group. So
yeah. I just thought, just going back to Vrakis, I think he'll be under pressure to stay on that left-hand side because I think Hall was really good on the right. Klein was obviously really good in the middle, and then you've got Jordan Lawton and Jacob Brissett who'll be knocking on the door to play.
Forget the Brissett. I did see him on the sideline. Yeah, far out.
I don't know. I don't think he was a sub though. He was on the. Sideline.
No, he was in plain clothes. Yeah.
So yeah, you've got Brissett, you've got Lawton off the top of my head that will be banging on the door for Vrakis, and then obviously you had Long up the top, and yeah, like I said, I thought he was really good. I saw a couple people were like, oh, why did Valkanis take Vidic off? Why did he sub the sub? I think that was just a purely tactical decision.
Red card. But this is what we've been missing too. Is he reacted to what's happening on the field? He didn't go, oh no, I've just put that player on, I better leave him on. It was, no, I need to reshuffle this, I need that person there, so I'm sorry, you've got to come off. Yeah. And that's great coaching.
There was, I did notice watching the game when we were there the other night that Vidic did come over and him and Valkanis seemed to have, they did have like a little bit of a, I wouldn't say heated, but like that maybe a kind of
like, why are you taking me off? Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
No, it was before, it was way before that. Yeah, it was like Valkanis was like doing this, like obviously wanting him to do something that he wasn't doing. So that could have played into it a little bit as well. But I think it was probably 90% a tactical switch.
Yeah. For sure. You saw them as soon as the red card happened. You saw him and the two other coaches that were on the bench. You saw them all pulling out the little markers, moving things around, and you saw it instantly. So it's good to see.
It just sucked that red card happened when it did because Vidic and Roos had just come on.
I know. I was so excited.
Yeah, and they both looked really good as well. Like Roos looked like he was really really up for
perfect
it.
Timing to bring him on.
Yeah. I thought his substitutions were great. like you said, mate, like it felt like Zadkovic at times was like, I'm going to make my subs on the 60th minute, and these are the subs that I'm going to make.
That's literally what you do. And then sometimes he'd only do 3 subs, and you're like why? Like,
yeah,
you can make more substitutions when you need to.
Well, look, overall, I thought that it was really good to get a win at home for a change. On
An odd feeling.
It was. I'll just rattle off a couple of quick stats about the game. That was our first opening round home win since the 2011-2012 season under Ange. So, I mean, we haven't had too many opening home rounds from memory. We seem to have been played away.
Probably the last time we had an opening home round.
But still, it's our first home win at home in the first round.
Omens.
What's that?
It's Omens. Omens of 2012.
I had a quick look through the fixtures from last year, and I think I can only count one clean sheet from the whole season.
Yeah, I was a bit dirty about that. Yep.
So that's one game, one clean sheet for us. So that's rare, and that's it. Probably the season prior, I think I only counted maybe one as well. So 1, 2, maybe 3 clean sheets in 2 seasons, and we've got 1 from 1 already.
Straight away, yeah.
Busanis will be happy with
19 shots 19 shots, 5 on target. Still a clean sheet.
Yeah, and like I said, most of them were from distance. Like Busanis wasn't really tested too much. That was our first win in 8 games against the Bulls as well.
Wow, they have wow. I didn't realize they had a wood on us that bad. Jeez.
Yeah. I think it was 2022 was our last win against the Bulls.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that's some of the notes that I got. Got some other things that we can have a quick chat about as well, mate. What we're going to do, guys, we're using Zoom, and we're limited to like 40 minutes at a time. So we're just going to be back be back after this.
We'll be back after these quick messages.
These quick messages from our non-sponsors that we don't have.
Take these pills.
Local hot MILFs in your area. I should before we cut off to go before we do the next bit, Sam. I was getting that name wrong in the that other episode. We were like trying to drum up sponsors. It's not Lonely Hearts Burgers Club. It's Broken Hearts Burgers Club, which sounds even better. Like Broken Hearts Burger Club. Like Bridge City brought to you by Broken Hearts Burger Club. So we'll
I'll hit them up.
We'll just have to keep tagging them in our game day burgers. And
that's it. And everyone else message them. So just if we annoy them enough, all that they have to do is just say yes, they'll sponsor us. They don't have to give us anything.
Actually, you know what? Talking about sponsorship, when we get back from this, mate, we've got a little bit to talk about that too. Okay, mate. So after that little brief interlude for people to hear about hot MILFs in their local area, we were talking about very quickly.
A targeted ads. So if you're getting hot MILFs, then
maybe that's just what I get. We were very quickly talking about sponsorship, and that just brings me to a couple of things I wanted to discuss from the fan forum. So the fan forum was held on, I think it was the 8th of October, so a couple of weeks ago now. And it was hosted by the RSF. I think is it Alex Scott? I think the coach of the women's team. Michael Valkanis was there. Kaz was there. Zach was there. And then they had 4 players there as well. So 2 women, 2 men, all new players. So 2 of the new recruits to the women's team, and then Dean Busanis and Milorad Stajic were there. They all fielded questions from both ones that were submitted online and then a handful from people in the crowd. So the first one that I'll get to is just briefly when talking about sponsorship. There was one of the people in the crowd asked a question about, like why don't we do free games for, like juniors, or, like why don't they do 2-for-1s, or why don't they offer free tickets to try and fill the stadium up? And Kaz said, look, he's like, if it was up to me, I would open the gates because I want to see the place full.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. He said, but then, there are things that you have to remember. Like, for example, if they open the stadium and don't put a cap on, or like a prediction on how many tickets are going to be there, Suncorp are going to say, well, that means we need to make sure that we provide transport for all 50,000 people that would be in the stadium. And that means that Brisbane then have to pay Suncorp a transport fee to cover all of that. So, and that comes back to another thing as well that happened on Friday night. A few of the shuttles that normally happen weren't in place, and that's the reason why. So we were listening to the start of that fan forum on the way up to the game on Friday, and Dad made a really good point. He said, because, obviously back in the day, Dad was the president at Runaway Bay Soccer Club here on the Gold Coast. And the Jeff, who took over from Dad for a few years, worked closely with Dad when Dad was the president there. And Jeff used to be I think he was he was one of the managers at the Gold Coast Bulletin. And so he had
at one stage he was the general manager. So
yeah, he had a really good, knowledge about marketing and all of that sort of stuff. And the way that they got the Runaway Bay Soccer Club on its feet was through sponsorship. So basically, Jeff was doing the same thing as he was doing to get sponsors for the newspaper. He did it for the club. And Dad said, why don't they approach the sponsors and get the sponsors to provide, to pay the transport fee for a game? And then it could be like, well, let's just say, who's our front of shirt sponsor this year? Is it Value?
Catch the Red Rooster shuttle bus to the stadium.
No, not that, but what Dad was saying was, this weekend, Suncorp Stadium, all registered juniors get a free ticket to the game on behalf of Value Dental Services, or whatever they're called. And then, that's really good PR for them, because they're giving kids free tickets to go to the football. So that was a really good point that Dad made. So obviously, people that are running the club are corporates and probably thought of that, but I just thought that was a really good idea. When you've got different companies that sponsor each player on match day, why not open up to 2 or 3 of the big sponsors to chip in and cover the transport fee and open the gates up for a game or two, maybe especially over Christmas, that Christmas break,
especially over Christmas.
So that was one of the things that was mentioned. Someone asked about why they haven't seen Brisbane Roar on all the billboards around the city. And Kaz, for those who don't know, our CEO, Kaz Patafta, is also on the board of directors for the APL now. And Kaz said, well, look, if you drive around Brisbane, he said, you're probably going to see Brisbane Bullets billboards all around the city. And he said, and then if you go to Sydney, you're going to see Sydney Kings. If you go to Melbourne, you're going to see Melbourne Tigers, etc., etc., etc. And he said those billboards are being paid for by the NBL. They're not being paid for by the company. So
which we don't do that anymore, do we?
No, well, and that's why he said he's trying to lobby hard to get the APL to start doing those things because they're not doing it at the moment. So I just thought that was a really interesting point, the way that he explained that. One thing that I'm not sure if maybe we might send an email to Kaz. I wanted to get some clarification. He mentioned talk about sitting down, doing a round of capital investment for the club, and that they've got a couple of investors at the table talking about a cash injection to the club. And I just, in my head, I'm thinking to myself, well, if someone wanted to be injecting capital into the club, wouldn't they want a stake in the club? And therefore, wouldn't they mean that they then become a part owner? Like, so are the Backeries giving up some of their ownership stake, or what's happening? Like, I don't understand that business side of things. So maybe if someone out there is listening and they watched the fan forum and they know what I'm talking about, and they know what they're talking about when it comes to that kind of thing. If you
They actually understand business.
Yeah, if you want to leave us a comment or send us a DM or something with a bit of an explanation, I'm going to send an email to the club about it, because I couldn't wrap my head around it. I was like, well, surely if the Backeries have got 100% ownership in the club, and then you've got other investors that are wanting to put in, investors are going to want to see, as Kaz said, they're going to want to see infrastructure and assets and a return on their investment. Doesn't that make you a part owner of the club? Anyway, so I would just like to get some clarification on that.
That's how I saw it anyway.
And either way, it's good to hear that they are seeking investment and that there are people that are interested in investing in the club. Hopefully, I mean, we can open up the whole stadium can of worms there. So that could be what he means when he's talking about assets and infrastructure. But another couple of things from that as well, really quickly, mate. Kaz, I think you would have heard this in the car when it was on. Kaz mentioned about the Lions and the rebuild that they've done. Because someone mentioned, like the fact that the Broncos and the Lions have both won premierships in the last couple of weeks. The Lions have won the double, like 2 years in a row. They've done the double. Like a Roar at risk of sort of like, falling way behind. And Kaz said, well, if you don't know the story of the Lions, they, 20 odd years ago, 25 years ago, they did the treble. They won 3 years in a row and then nothing until the previous season to this year. And he mentioned that in that time that, they went through a complete restructure and rebuild, sought investment. They, invested in their facilities out at Richlands. They opened their own leagues club, and they've slowly managed to get the back end of things on some stable foundations. And then on the back of that, they've managed to, translate that into success on the field. So I just thought that was really, the way that he explains it in that little explanation that he gives, I thought was really good. And obviously that means that maybe he and Zach and the rest of the team have got those kind of plans in place or aspirations in place, at least when you're talking about things like leagues clubs and, like professional facilities for the men to train in. I just thought that was really interesting. And the other thing as well that they mentioned, and he actually spoke on the night, was the acquisition of Joe Esposito, who is the new Brisbane Roar communications manager. So I knew the name from somewhere, like from, obviously I know the name from soccer Twitter. So Joe was the head of communications for the A-Leagues for the last however many years, and is well versed in the world of soccer Twitter. So Joe obviously came on board a few months ago, and the whole online presence, social media, everything at the club has just been unbelievable since he's taken over. From all reports, he's really good to work with. More than willing to chat with anyone who wants to get in touch with him. So if you've got, feedback for the club, when it comes to any of that kind of stuff, find Joe online and send him a message. I'm sure he'll get back to you. He loves to engage with everyone. And Joe mentioned something really good about, just the different ways that he wants to try and get exposure for the club. Things like the ABC. He explained that the ABC goes for 24 hours when it comes to radio and television. They've got so much space that they need to fill. And so, it's up to him and his team and people in his position and other clubs and at the APL to seek out filling those time slots, rather than chasing, 30-second grab on Channel 9 in between them talking about the other sport that they cover. rather than
We weren't even
focusing.
mentioned on Channel 9, so
Yeah, rather than focusing your energy on that stuff, focus your energy, where there is space to be filled. So, I just think that Joe and his team have just been doing a fantastic job. That intro to the game the other night was fucking awesome.
oh,
Um,
it's if I could have one critique of it, they need to bring the volume of the voice up and the music to come down a bit.
yeah,
'Cause, you couldn't
when
really hear it through.
we couldn't hear it, but it was still awesome. Like the lights went down low, the
it's
orange
so good.
lights came on.
Yeah,
And
I
we
do
could,
love it. I do love a modern stadium. How good is it? Like the ability to make the stadium part of the entertainment is like you go to Seabus and there's none of that.
yeah,
Like you saw the other night while we're at the monster trucks. Can you imagine if the monster trucks were at Suncorp?
yeah,
How incredible would it be?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was sick. Yeah, I was going to say my critique is probably like of it was we couldn't hear any of the words. Maybe because I'm hard of hearing from years of playing in bands and stuff anyway. But also straight after it went like straight into Breathe by the Prodigy, and I think that could have been super loud. That could have been even louder.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that needs to be loud as well, and this is something that I'm 100% on board with, is Welcome to the Jungle as our walkout tune.
Oh, yes. I am enjoying that.
Yeah. There's been, this is one of those things that alongside talking about Ballymore and Perry Park and KO and Cusack and all of those places, the Roar's walkout music has always been a bone of contention. A lot of people, myself included, weren't fans of Powderfinger. It's
although they're
boring.
Brisbane, it still doesn't feel right.
Obviously, they're a big Brisbane band and an important Brisbane band, but I mean, My Happiness is a fucking sad sack song. Welcome to the Jungle. Lions are the king of the jungle. I just think I thought that was great. Heaps better than fucking Katy Perry as well. What did we have under You're the Voice under Robbie Fowler? I think Welcome to the Jungle fits really well. So yeah, that's me rambling for ages, mate. If you got anything else in regards to any of that from the other night that you wanted to touch on?
No, I'm pretty much same sort of feelings across the board as you.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, look, we've got another couple of things to get into before we wrap things up, mate. But yeah, overall, I think myself, like, I don't want to get too excited. Obviously, we were excited on the night. It was fucking awesome to see the boys win, and it was on top of seeing the boys win finally, for the first time in a long time at home. It was also fantastic to see the way that they reacted after the game as well.
Yeah.
The last two seasons we would have 100% lost that game, especially last season. I just think back to like the Sydney game, like we definitely would have lost that game last year. So the boys all really fought really hard, and I noticed when the final whistle went, Sam Klein and Jay O'Shea, like massive big high five and big hug.
Yeah,
and when they all came down to the den at the end, you could see how happy they all were. They were all up and about, dancing, singing, hugging.
Yeah, it meant a lot to them, which makes us feel a lot better too.
Yeah, 100%. And well, I guess on that, mate, talking about coming down in front of the den was full.
Yeah.
The other night, the rest of the stadium was not. And
unfortunately, they kind of put them on the wrong side for the camera.
Unfortunately, my prediction was almost spot on when it comes to the crowds from last week. So what did you say? You said 8,400?
Yeah, 8.5 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, and I said my prediction was 6,700, and that was a very optimistic prediction. So I think it was 6,200?
Yeah,
6,400?
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah, I mean, where do we start? For all of the hard work that the club has put in on the social media and the engagement with the community and everything, it is still going to take a long time for the fans to come back. They can't drop the ball. They can't sort of like drop their heads and be like, we put all that work in and we only got 6,000 people to the game. You have to keep putting that work in. You have to keep working harder. The players have to work harder. The coaching team has to work harder. We have to win games at home. And then from there, as we've mentioned before, as they mentioned at the fan forum, Brisbane people love it or hate it. Brisbane people and Queenslanders, we love a winner.
That's it.
We love it. We love a team that
fickle.
fights. We love a team that fights and a team that has spirit. But Broncos aren't going to get 50,000 people to a game, to a final, to a game during the season if they're not playing well.
Yeah, exactly. Well, the last 2 times were 2 grand finals in a row. So
yeah. So that's the crowd prediction. So I give myself a little pat on the back for how close I was. Our score predictions were nowhere near.
Nowhere near.
What was yours? 4-0?
2-2.
2-2, sorry, yeah.
And I had Roos and Hall.
Yeah.
I should have just gone with the easy one of saying O'Shea,
O'Shea.
And yours was 3-2 with Long and Klein scoring.
That's right. So yeah, we were way off with our predictions there, but I was pretty close.
I feel like everyone was. So
yeah, except for that old mate in the black shirt.
He knew it. He knew what he was talking about.
All right, mate. Well, look, it's getting to that exciting time now where we get to announce our very first ever point winners of the Bleiberg medal. If you guys didn't watch last week's episode, if you're new to the podcast, thank you very much for watching and for lasting this long as well. Last week, Sam and I announced that we're running the Bleiberg Award this year. It's the very first time that we're doing something like this on the podcast. This is the 3rd season that we've been doing it. And we're trying to step up and act like actual podcasters. So the Bleiberg Award, it doesn't really have any criteria. It's up to us. It's completely subjective and it doesn't have to be based on what happens on the field. It could be something off field, whatever we decide to give our 3-2-1s for. That's what we're doing. So, and then at the end of the season, we'll put our heads together. We'll actually come up with an award and we'll try and present it to whoever wins it at the end of the season. All right, Sam, look, I know that you've been a bit distracted the last couple of days and you've only sort of just come up with your points. So why don't you run me through your 3-2-1s for the Bleiberg medal?
All right. So for the 1 point this week, I've got Salas.
Okay.
He could have gotten 2, but he was just a bit rocks and diamonds. But he excited me the most out of all of our players playing. And then at the end of the game, Parker got to high five him and get a signature off him, so that was even cooler for him. So I think he's got a new favourite player. So he gets 1 for just being an awesome guy and making me excited with slide tackles and generally being a pest in the back there. I love it. The 2 points goes to the 2 guys that predicted the 1-0.
Okay.
So they get the 2 points this week. So well done, you two. Unfortunately, the other game ended 2-1, so for some reason they get to go above us even though they've conceded a goal. Makes no sense to me, that system. The more goals you score, somehow the higher you are, even though you've conceded more. So, and then my 3 points goes to Valkanis. On the field, Volcanis, not Coach Volcanis or the other Volcanis that's sitting on the bench as well. He got the 3 points for each of the cards that he received. So he gets all the 3 points this week.
The 3 points for a debut start in the A-League and getting sent off.
Yep.
That's
three cards equals 3 points.
He definitely A-Leagued it.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Okay, awesome. So you were one to Salas, 2 to the boys who made the correct prediction before the game, and 3 points to who was it again? Oh, to Dimitri Valkanis. Okay, cool. All right, I'll run you through mine. So my very first recipients of points for the Bleiberg Award. 1 point I give to Sam Klein for his performance and for that nutmeg.
Oh yeah,
any,
beautiful.
Any Hello Chicks moments in a game is going to get you in the running for some points for me. The 2 points for me goes to our physio for getting the yellow card.
I mean, you should be. The 3 points should go to their one for being on the fucking field while the game's still playing.
I couldn't remember. I remember you mentioning that on the night. I'm not sure if that's what happened, but I'm pretty sure he got the yellow because he came on to treat McGarry, and Bazanis had gone down at the same time, and the ref had actually told him to go to Bazanis first, and he was like, "I'm here, like he's injured. I'm gonna treat him,"
Yeah.
and then got up and went off to Bazanis, and that's why he got the yellow. That's the first time I've ever seen a trainer.
Yeah, I've never seen a trainer or a doctor get a
So he gets the 2 points for me, and the 3 points for this week goes to admin. So to Joe and the team for all of the hard work that they've done in the lead up to that game. I thought that the game day atmosphere was fantastic. Obviously, the crowd was nowhere near what we want, but as we just talked about before, mate, the intro to the game, the lights down, the prodigy,
hands down, the greatest bit of social media we have done.
Yeah. All of the socials and everything have just been fantastic, and I think it's energized a lot of people. It's helped to energize a lot of people in the fan base. Some people who, very rightly are probably on the fence as to whether they wanted to renew their membership or turn up the games this year. I think
there's a lot of people that haven't renewed their membership that we interacted with. So
yeah.
Yeah.
My 3 points goes to Joe. I'm just going to say admin because that's what we call them on the internet. And I've seen that their responses to other codes and to comments and stuff, and they're across it.
I had to applaud. I wish that I had screenshot it because I can't remember whether it was on Instagram or a Facebook or whatever, but it was I don't know, some knobhead messaging on one of the posts, like it might have been like a Channel 10 post or something like that, or an A-League post, and they've gone, is the A-League still a thing? And they had responded. Brisbane Roar had responded on it.
Yeah.
So I love that. Gotta be able to pick a fight when you want to.
Super online and understand the culture, which is awesome. I'm going to give a special mention for a point as well. Doesn't actually get a point this time round, but he's going to put himself in the running for a few times this season. His friend of the pod, Steve, who was one of the hosts of the fantastically named Cross Cum Shot podcast. So the day after we won the game, they put up this happy birthday Dimitri Valkanis post on Instagram.
Yeah.
And Steve's comment was, he doesn't need any birthday cards today. He got a couple cards last night.
Love it, Steve.
And yeah, he received a stack of likes on that comment. And he's a very funny dude. And we both miss him, and hopefully we'll see him at a game or two.
Yes, please come along, mate.
This season. So yeah, shout out to you, Steve. I thought that was fantastic. All right. Well, Sam, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. We're going to. When's the next home game, mate?
Well, the next home game's against Melbourne City, I think, on the 31st or the 1st.
Oh, the 31st. It's a Halloween game. That's right.
Yeah, Halloween game. Yeah. So I won't be at that one.
You won't be at that one?
I don't think we will be. Yeah, because we have about 9 kilos of lollies here. So.
Oh, it's Halloween, of course.
Yeah. So we'll see, though. We'll see. If not, there'll be a free ticket for someone. So
yeah, probably Michael Duncan. If you're watching, Mick, might take you along to the game with Billy, and we'll get into it. All right. Well, I mean, if I'm going to be there by myself with some of my mates, I'm not sure if I'll be able to do any of the pre-match interview stuff.
I'll do pre-match ones just around my house.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll have a think about it whether or not I can wrangle one of my mates to be coming to the game with me. If not, if I'm there by myself, I'll try and be a big boy and ask some people for their pre-match predictions and thoughts.
Yep.
We were going to try and do something a bit different for our first away game of the season this weekend as well. Like I wanted us to try and maybe do like a live reaction or something, like a watch along or something,
Yep.
Sam. But I'm actually taking photos for
Taking photos, yeah. That's right. We'll get one of the away games anyway.
Yeah. If you guys have got any ideas of what we can do for like one of those away games, for like if you would like to see us do like a live stream of us reacting to the game. Like I mentioned in the previous episode, I don't really know if too many people would want to watch that. I know myself, I just want to watch it with the commentary.
Yeah.
But we might try and come up with something that we can do for an away game. If you guys have got any ideas, if you can point us in the direction of any other podcasters do that you think we can pull off, let us know. But yeah, once again, thank you, Sam, for asking people for their predictions before the game.
That's all right.
We're going to try and do a lot more of that stuff this year. And shout out to all of the players who put, a really good effort in on Friday night and dug in for the fans that did show up. It's hard, everyone out there, keep the faith. Try and invite your friends to some games. Obviously, there's a long, long way to go until the end of the season. We can't get too ahead of ourselves. Some people are getting a little bit ahead of themselves,
Always.
I think, after the other night.
It's only natural.
Yeah, like I mentioned, mate, it was, we haven't won at home in so long. To win in the first game of the season with a whole bunch of new players, new manager and everything, it was pretty good. So credit has to go to everyone who made that happen the other night. Shout out to, I think, was it, I'm horrible with names. Was it Daniel that we met the other night and his partner?
You need to write your names down on our hands, because it is obviously a Mackie trait to be incredibly forgetful of names.
Yes.
Won't forget a face. I guarantee I can still remember faces from when I was 3 years old, but I'm horrible with names.
Horrible with names. It was Nick and his partner that we met. That were.
Oh, it was Nick. Okay, there you go. It was Nicholas. Yeah. There you go.
So shout out to you for coming up and saying g'day, mate.
I was so confused when he came up and said g'day. I'm like, who the fuck is this? Oh, that's right. I forget that we do.
Because he literally just DM'd me on Instagram because he was waiting for us up in the Caxton.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yep. But our dad is way too invalid to be able to reach those heights now.
Yeah, we'll try, and when we do come to the games without Dad, we'll try and get up. I mean, we won't try. We will get up to LA or Brisbane Brewing or wherever you guys, the Dan and everyone's meeting before the game. But yeah, when we've got
something must have happened at Lord Alfred, and they ended up being at the Caxton. So the boys from the boys from Off Field Drama podcast, they do like an NRL rugby union potty. They're like a couple of Brizzy boys. Well, one of them's actually the son of the owner of the Caxton. Yeah, they were posting on there saying, the boys know something had happened and they couldn't be at LA, so they ended up down at Suncorp, Caxton, which is awesome. It's awesome. That's where you should be going, boys. It's the heartland.
I mean, LA's where they've always gone. So I don't know what happened there. We'll have to find out. But I mean, that's where they've always gone. So they don't need to change that. But I can't even remember what I was kind of talking about there. But when we're with our dad, we have to drive. Dad's got Parkinson's and his mobility's no good. I don't know what to do with my hands. And yeah, we park right beside the stadium, and then we walk there. Dad can't walk up the hill or anything, otherwise he'd have to have a lie down once he got to the pub. And so when Dad's with us, we'll just hang out the front of the Caxton Street end and interview people there. But when Dad's not with us, we'll be in amongst it with everyone. Hope to catch up with all of our friends who we normally see at the games over this season. And if this is your first time watching or listening, please consider subscribing to the YouTube channel, or giving us a follow and a rating on Spotify and Apple. It helps all of our podcast get out to all the other fellow Raw fans out there, and potentially maybe some other people in the A League who'll look for some content. And yeah, I think that's probably going to wrap it up, hey mate.
Well, what about some predictions for this game, the Wellington game?
Is it Wellington or Auckland?
Wellington, isn't it?
I thought it was Auckland, mate.
No, it's 26th of the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wellington versus Brisbane Roar.
Wellington, okay. Well,
Am I reading the wrong one? Yeah, Wellington, yeah.
Okay.
12 p.m.
Look, yeah, that's right.
Well, it's been 8 years since we've beat Wellington in Wellington, so yeah, we'll lose 2-1.
2-1. You're gonna okay. I've actually
Raw
watched.
no, that'll be Wellington will win 2-1.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, you said Wellington 2-1. I actually watched the replay of the Perth Wellington game, and Wellington actually looked pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah, their new striker that they've got is a Nigerian dude that they've signed from the Iraqi Premier League. He scored, I think he scored 15 goals there last season. His name's Eze, and you should look up the highlights from that game. The goal that he scored was beautiful. Like he's got touch, speed, and the finish was top shelf. Yes.
Bring it up so I can watch it later.
Wellington away. Look, I understand where you're coming from. I'm leaning towards defeat over there. It's been a long time since we've beaten them, but having said that, it was 8 games since we'd beaten Macarthur. So I'm going to go for a scrappy 1-1 draw away to Wellington.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
I just was clicking on bringing up that game, and it had a little thing for EPL, so I clicked on it. Did you see what happened last night?
Yeah, we don't need to talk about it. People don't care about who we follow in the EPL. But
I didn't even know that it had happened. How is that not? How have I not seen it?
Yeah, fellow Casper Tafter apparently is also a Man United fan, so he'll be happy about that too. But
yeah,
before we lose subscribers talking about Manchester United, we've
got to get the so we've got to mention Ange Postecoglou. just so that we get the algorithm pumping. Yeah. What else can you mention?
Harry Kane.
What else is sport related that's happening at the moment? Wrexham, aviation. What is it?
Yeah, all of the keywords in.
I love it.
Look, that's enough. That's enough rambling, mate.
I need to go to sleep at some point tonight.
I need to.
You definitely do.
I start work in 6 hours, so I need to go to bed. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching once again. Sounds like Sam won't be at the next home game, but I will be there. So this is what I look like. You'll see the big Mo from a mile away. If I'm not walking around with the camera, come up and grab me and make me get the camera out and film a prediction from you.
And I'll give him a microphone so that you've got microphones.
Yeah. All right. Sweet. Thank you very much for watching, guys. We really appreciate it. Hopefully, what are we at? We're at up to 70 subscribers on YouTube. So we're close.
Woo!
Getting close to 100.
Do we have any questions on YouTube or?
Oh shit!
Or was it just? I think it was just comments more than questions.
Yeah, we've got to make it real quick.
Four things, but they're all pretty much just comments.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you want to just really run through them? We won't discuss them.
Really quickly, we've got Totally Channel 482. Can't wait for tomorrow, which we're in that sort of vein. Nicholas Peters, which is becoming a regular on the program. Nicholas says, good content as always, lads. Very happy with the depth of most positions. Going to be driving down for the first game of the season up the Roar. So must be coming from the northern suburbs.
Yeah, he drove from Rocky, remember?
Another good podcast. Is it fucking what? Did he drive down from Rocky?
Yeah, remember
I complained about going from bloody Gold Coast.
He was telling us the other night that him and his partner, they drove down from Rockhampton for the game.
Far out, I missed that bit. Jesus Christ. Randall Stevens, another good podcast, and I appreciate both of your analysis on our preseason and predictions for the season ahead. I'm going to go out on a limb here and think we'll finish in the top 4. There you go. He's the one that's been drinking the same juice. I think Vrekas might surprise a few people and quickly become a fan favourite. As for Friday night's game, I reckon 2-1 Brisbane. Can't wait. I managed to drag 4 others along. So good, let's go Brisbane. And then he's got edit. I think we have to award 2 Bleiberg to Milorad. During the game, he pumped his fists and yelled, yes, towards the Macarthur bench. And he also did the same thing against the Solomon Islands national team. Gotta love that winning mentality, lads. I love that.
Yeah,
and then
awesome.
lastly is Brendan Westling 4702. I'm optimistic but also pessimistic about how we'll go this year. I will take a top 6 finish come May, but it could also very easily still finish in the cup playoffs again. Going into tonight, though, Roos has to start as a striker. We obviously see that now for a reward for his preseason, but Long gets maybe 20 to 30 minutes off the bench. But as we saw, we definitely want Long on the field, but Roos coming on in that between 50 and 70 would be ideal every game.
Definitely, yeah. Very quickly before we run out of time, at the fan forum, Valkanis someone did ask about Long and whether he was fit, and Valkanis basically gave a bit of a wink, and he was like, he's been playing, like in England for 15 years. He's used to a 4-week off season. He's had a 4-month off season. He's fine. He doesn't need all of the extra minutes in his legs in the preseason games. And we saw the other night.
He'll get up and get going no matter what's going on.
Yeah, and he looked great. So, okay, awesome. Thanks a lot again, guys, for all of your comments. As we mentioned every episode, we will read your comments that you leave for us on Spotify and YouTube out. So leave some comments down below for us. Hit the like button on YouTube for us. If you're listening on Spotify or Apple, give us a rating. Give us a good rating, please. And yeah, that'll help more Raw fans find us and help build our community. And yeah, awesome.
And if you're on TikTok, I'm going to be posting a lot more on TikTok and stuff as well. I've been starting, so I'll keep doing that, and I'll just do like little vlogs and stuff on there to just basically me, wanking on. So enjoy my mug on that.
Sam's running the TikTok. I run the Instagram. We both do the podcast, and we're going to try and be a lot more involved this year. And we'll see you guys. I might see you guys at the City game, and Sam will see you in the next episode, mate.
Thank you very much, guys. Peace.
Go 2! Good luck.